My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Slay the Spire 2! Silent, 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 silent. Oh, lead paperweight. That's a pretty fun way to start a run. Oh, okay, hang on, look at this. Early question marks, early shop. Then we have upgrade fight. That's also possibly only our third normal fight. Upgrade chest, upgrade, elite, upgrade, elite. If I can take 3 upgrades this line and then just power roll through those 2 elites at the end, this is going to be incredible for us. Lagavulin Matriarch's at the end of the floor, so I probably don't want to rely on shivs unless I have a bunch of damage scaling with them as well. Give me a colorless. Oh, well, Panache kind of is damage scaling for shivs if you think about it. It is as well if you don't think about it. I mean, it doesn't do anything in the deck at the moment, but so much of Silent is in support of playing a bunch of cards. Not just shivs, but shivs certainly count. Perfect. No more damage taken. Follow through, pinpoint flechette. Pinpoint is pretty good here in terms of damage per card in hand. Defend, and then pinpoint to take Tadpole in the front line down to that. And I'll also neutralize so that I only have to defend and then strike the front line next turn. Yeah. I don't need to take any damage this fight. There's a possibility of dealing a bunch of damage there, but it would have cost me taking 2 damage that turn myself. Yeah, exactly, whereas I've just got lethal 2 turns later. Play Dance! You are 4 cards for the cost of 1. Sounds good to me. Speedster, Bouncing Flask, Snakebite. Bouncing Flask on sale. That's... Between that and Snakebite, that is totally a plan for killing the Lagavulin Matriarch. That said, it doesn't really synergize with the Panache and Pinpoint of it all. Strangle does, though. Whenever you play a card this turn, the enemy loses 2 HP. And also, eternally, there is the option of just removing a card here. I think I probably get a lot more value out of taking Strangle. I don't think I need Bouncing Flask. I think with Strangle and Panache to cause additional damage, I think we can just roll a bunch of shivs into the Lagavulin Matriarch here. Oh, Strangle, and... Yay! Our first Panache trigger. I knew we had it in us. Anticipate. Dagger Spray and Backflip. I will take Backflip. Card draw matters. Upgrade 2 random cards. Considering how many cards I've added to the deck, yes please. Yep. All I wanted to hit was 1 non-default card. And if I hit a default card, I wanted to hit the Neutralize. But hitting Blade Dance there totally counts to me. Let's get the Neutralize upgrade for a second turn of weakness. We've still got 2 more upgrades before we even get to our first elite. Wait, hang on. Is that a fight? Which one of these was a fight? Oh, this one was a fight. Right, so that's... I'm already out of the easy pool. That said... I am out of the easy pool, but our deck is actually good enough to be able to take out the Fossil Stalker without just taking a bunch of damage. That's not always the case, especially because whenever this enemy manages to deal damage to you, it then gains more strength, causing it to deal more damage next time. It kind of just balls out of control like that. Untouchable, Flick Black, and Ricochet, all of them Sly triggers. Now, Sly is also a way to play a bunch of cards. I will definitely end up using Sly in this deck, but I probably don't need to use it for my offense. So let's use Untouchable. Also, like, our AoE is largely Panache. I don't think we needed to click Flick Black there just to get AoE. Pinpoint gets 4 damage? Panache gets 4 damage AoE, but I only trigger this like once every couple of turns at best. Strangle does an additional damage per card I play after it. I think for single target, that's probably pretty decent upgrade choice there. Warpaint hits just 2 defense. Honestly, I'm not too sad about that. Like, I'm gonna definitely remove every strike before I remove any of the defense. If I end up with 7 removals and then end up removing the 2 unupgraded defense, I'll still be pretty happy to have the other ones. Let's get the Panache upgrade as well. So I'll use a Radiant Tincture here to give myself the ability to play more cards. Gives us 1 energy on the turn we play it, and 1 additional energy for every turn after. Oh, sorry, for the next 3 turns after. Okay, so I need to stagger you this turn, which is really unfortunate for us. Neutralize, backflip. Strike. Oh, it'd be so much better if I didn't. So if I defend here, I deal 14 damage to you, splitting you. Fine. Preventing your attack this turn, but I also could have just blocked. Strangle into neutralize. Oh, I would absolutely need to try and do some defensive stuff. Strangle, neutralize, backflip, draws, survivor, drops, untouchable. Giving us the ability to cast a huge amount of cards and cause the pinpoint to be 0 cost as well as the AoE from Panache. Strawberry, raise your max HP by 7. Speedster definitely does fit into this kind of deck, but it kind of does the same thing as Panache. And Panache costs significantly less to set up, and also, if I'm already doing a bunch of draw, Panache only costs card draw, like... It feels like you are the weaker Panache. Not exactly, but kinda. Leading Strike, though. Deal 3 damage, add 2 shivs into our hand? That's what? 3 cards for the cost of 1? Hell yeah. We took, what, almost no damage in that fight? 10? We gained 7? Hell yeah. So we actually do get the 3 upgrades and then roll into that next fight. The Leading Strike only gets 3 damage on its upgrade. Kind of underwhelming. Ooh, Untouchable only gets 2 block. I think that's changed in the next upcoming patch. Let's hit Pinpoint for 4 damage. Well, I mean, how soon can we draw Panache, please? Evidently not soon enough. I'll leave the Blade Dance in the deck as like a guaranteed Panache turn. Tough. Just some unmitigatable damage that turn. 1, 2. Oh, butts. I'm actually going to fix that. I'll do the previous turns exactly the same way. The Leading Strike is only 3 damage, whereas shivs are 4 damage. I gave 7 unnecessary block to the Phantasmal Gardener as I was attempting to kill it. If I hit it with a shiv, it just dies. So it's strangle someone else, hit someone else with a strike, and then the shiv goes to the back line. And then survivor and one last shiv out there. We actually get the AoE and take the frontliner out as well. Survivor through defender. Great. Strength Potion, Whetstone, and Hidden Daggers. 0 cost that adds 2 more 0 costs to my hand, as well as discards cards. Super useful for Panache. I do think with this damage we can push through, but the Strength Potion will certainly help guarantee that. Ooh, Strangle, Leading Strike, 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 Defend, Hidden Dagger, Strike, Strike, get him! That's a lot of damage for turn 1. Panache. Getting out of the living fog fight without taking damage, hell yeah. Accelerant, Poison Fumes, literally no poison in this deck at the moment, so I'm pretty happy just taking a Prepared. Also a really good card for Panache, also a really good card in a deck that has Strangle, Pinpoint, that cares about Sly through Untouchable. Now, is that? It is, yeah, the most important upgrade in this deck. Draws and discards an additional card. Cool. Interesting. Hey, time to wake him up. I will use the Strength Potion. I just needed to have Panache out before I woke up the enemy. Nice. Oh, that hand going from looking like I was going to take a bunch of damage to taking absolutely none. Perfect. Strangle's actually worse than just triple defend Pinpoint here. Defend, Survivor, Leading Strike, throw the shivs, Hidden Dagger, throw those shivs. I do want to get to the point that I'm regularly triggering double Panache per turn, but like, yeah, I'll be okay with how often we're doing it at the moment. There's the first negative strength and dex debuff from the enemy here. At this point, if we hadn't used the Strength Potion at the start, our shivs would all be dealing half damage. They go from 4 to 2. It does become really difficult to kill the Lagavulin Matriarch after that. I've tried to shiv you too many times. I've made that mistake enough times now to know... well, not better. But differently. Oh, the new Blade of Ink! I've not actually gotten to use you! Blade of Ink. Add 2 Inky Shivs into your hand. Upgrades to give you 3 Inky Shivs. And an Inky Shiv deals 2 additional damage and applies a weak as well. Yep. Thank you. I mean, with the Panache deck, absolutely. Imbued? Do I have an Imbued? No. No. I shouldn't imbue any of these. Oh, Ring of the Snake, though. Draw 2 additional cards on your first 3 turns rather than just your first turn. Huge. Okay, so this is almost certainly our opening. And then I have to decide how many elites I want to take after that. I think, like, there's good play in just taking one more, taking an extra rest, and then leaving. But it's not like my deck has a bunch of upgrade hunger at the moment. Like, Blade of Ink would love to generate an additional card. Other than that, almost none of this deck is truly impacted that much by an upgrade. But of course, this may actually just have to be rest in preparation for Kaiser Crab. We're currently okay against Kaiser Crab just by courtesy of having, like, a lot of our damage being AoE, as well as a lot of access to weaken in the deck, so we can take 25% off the top of all of the incoming damage. Ideally, I'll have a little bit more block. Ideally, something from Sly or something like that. Or maybe like a after image, just some passive consistent gain of block would be really helpful as well by the time we get up there. Cool. Incoming is 24 this turn. Interesting. I played all my blocks, right? And it just gone. No, I discarded strike untouched. Huh. I was pretty sure I was going to be able to full block this turn. I'll be. I just visually immediately misread my hand. This was almost another bad situation there as I tried to go offensive. Just let me draw Panache and kill him, please. Oh, see? Isn't it so much better when I draw Panache? And then everyone dies. Untouchable. Wow. Yeah. Escape Plan's also pretty good, especially with Panache and the presence of skills in this deck. I'll click it. I haven't got a guaranteed shop routed for later this path. It's definitely card removal, I'll tell you that much. Get a strike out of here. I wonder if I buy the Regal Pillow so that I can buy myself more opportunities to upgrade. But what am I doing that in service of? I just told you a couple of seconds ago that I haven't got many important upgrades left in this deck. It's just Blade of Ink. I'm gonna go past these. I think I need to... At the end of a lot of episodes recently, episodes that have gotten to, like, you know, second boss on the third floor kind of situation, but have died there, the post-mortem of the run has included something like, well, in retrospect, I didn't need to include these cards, but I kind of needed to use them to get by at the time. I don't need to include any cards to get by right now, and I'm trying to actively ward off the future where I look at cards in my deck and go, well, I really didn't need to take this card. But that's my Panache. I use that for Panaching. That's so much of my damage as well. I mean, like, you know, I can just throw the potion if I absolutely need to, but still, how dare you, you know? Got him. Ooh, flex spot as well. Follow through. If you have 5 or other... 5 or more of the cards in hand hits an additional time. I will take the reflex, thank you. Oh. Yeah. Cut 2 strikes to get a strike. Panache in the opening hand makes this a lot neater to navigate. Oh my god, yeah, we're definitely getting at least 1 Panache trigger this turn, if not 2. I think probably 2. That worked out pretty well. Yeah, we're doing good damage. I think at this point. I think it is fair to say at this point, we are confirmed to be damageable. Anticipate Cloak and Dagger Snakebright. Yeah, if the Cloak and Dagger was upgraded, maybe. Anticipate's not important enough. If I had more draw than I currently do, maybe. See, I wonder if maybe I should take the opportunity to get another removal here. My last removal cost 100, which means it was 100, right? Yeah, I've removed 2 strikes and had... Right? I cut one strike and I removed two and then added an ultimate strike. Yeah, it's 150 for the removal. So be able to remove the other strike, which is certainly, like, it's a curse in this deck at the moment. It is slightly worse than a curse, really. Prowess. Prowess, not bad. Anyway, I came here to remove the strike and I'm doing so. Moving on. Let's get the Blade of Ink upgrade for the additional weakness. Oh, Lantern. Started to combat with additional energy. Now here's the thing. Do I go for the upgrade before and then try? No, do I care about more I care about more question marks. Ooh, it's the hard shiv counter. Let's see how we go. I think we'll be fine to clear. Let's discard reflex, draw there. And great, 24 is the damage the enemy intends to do this turn. I will throw Pinpoint. Inky Shivs would be 16 this turn, as well as 3 dazed in our draw pile. But it's also weakness next turn, which is pretty good. And the turn after. Strangle. Right. Actually gonna pop the Flex Potion and go all out and damage here. This is 5 from lethal. I have an ultimate strike in the next 2 draws, so I can take 9 damage this turn in order to prevent myself from having to use the Fire Pot. I think the Fire Pot's going to be more important in Kaiser Crab. I'll take the 9. Anko! Started combat with 10 block! Hell yeah! Second Blade Darts. Just card to transform. It's definitely not going to be Corrupt. Unupgraded Defend. Oh, Echoing Slash. Much better. Let's get an additional Shiv out of Blade Dance. Okay, well and truly fully defended here. Okay, 10, so 1 echoing. And I should have killed the frontliner, really. Not that it's going to matter. I mean, look at the rest of this turn. Accuracy, thank you. I was looking for at least 1 just because of the prevalence of shivs in the... Oh, Ornamental Fan! If you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. Baby. Upgrade the accuracy to give shivs 6 more damage. Just having a secondary way for our shivs to deal damage that isn't, you know, just the combination of the other effects. It's important. Turn. Hold up. Weaken this side twice, because you're about to do a larger attack next turn, then weaken the side that I'm turning towards. And I'll leave the Blade Dance in the deck. I get useful defense this turn, and it also helps us keep the... keep it for Panache. Okay, good. I've got the 2-turn weakness on Rocket, which means that next turn you're weakened for this incoming 42. Great. Then I can even turn towards you, just cast off a ridiculous amount. Great. Good fight. Good fight. I don't know who the best Ancient Forest next floor would be. We've only got 2 powers in the deck. Putting a power in my opening hand might be okay. Ooh, I want After Image. The amount of defense that'll give us on an average turn is huge. Also, I can upgrade it to become a Nate. Really important. Add an Enthralled into your deck. I don't have much ease destroying random cards from my deck, so I'm not particularly excited by that. I can discard cards. So Apparition isn't that bad, because I can discard it from my hand if I want it not to burn to Ethereal at the end of the turn. Or I could just take Choices Paradox. Choose the best card for each combat. That's an additional card on turn 1, taking us up to 8 cards on turn 1. That's pretty good. It retains. It retains as well. A lot of the time, I think I'll just be taking an option that gives me draw from that, but is that bad? Am I supposed to not want draw? Speaking of, actually, I've got an unupgraded Defend to remove from this deck. Well, that counts as draw, you see, because it makes our draw more impactful. Yes, yes, see? It makes sense. I promise. You just have to squint your brain. Okie dokie, frontliner has died. And oh, it's looking like we're setting up the turret operator to do so as well. Get him. Deck powerful. Piercing Whale. Pretty good defensive pickup in both Doormaker and Queen fight. Serpent Form on a turn that I can actually play it is really good for this deck, yeah. Would have done a decent amount of damage that turn. 4 damage per card I play. It's like having Strangle up at all times. Upgraded Prepared is exactly... I wouldn't have taken unupgraded Prepared, but upgrade? Yes. Oh, wow. Master of Strategy is in the store. Just draw 3 cards straight up. Incredibly important, because our first cycle is about getting towards Panache, After Image, and Accuracy as quickly as possible, and I can just spend additional cards in hand as a resource. I don't want bread. I'd only be 1 energy down on turn 1, but also I have 8 cards on turn 1, so I should really use that energy if I can get it. If I could take both of these, I might have. Tincture. Whenever you discard a card during your turn, deal 3 damage to a random enemy for each card discarded. I discard some cards, but probably not enough for Tincture to be a real source of damage for us. So I think it's either Venerable Tea Set here. Whenever you enter a red site, start the next combat with 2 extra energy, just because that's guaranteed to activate against the boss. Which is pretty damn powerful. Only against the first of the 2 bosses, though. Actually, the Doormaker is... The Doormaker really doesn't need that additional energy on turn 1, because against the Doormaker, he doesn't do anything on turn 1, giving you a lot more time to set up. Because you don't have to focus on defending at all. Grumble, grumble, grumble. I'm thinking maybe Venerable T said is incorrect here. Do I relent to the removal or do I take the Master of Strategy? I'm gonna remove. I've added too many cards. I must make penance by removing all of them. I will only be pure when the deck is empty. After image, drop a neutralize, and escape land so that then I can pay for panache. Hoorah! You end up defending 37 basically accidentally. Oh no. 1 damage short of lethal that turn. I ended up taking 3. What? What is the world coming to? Finisher. Deal 6 damage for each attack already played this turn. I do think I have enough density of shivs in the deck to benefit from that. Upgrade to your end cards, please. Kind of just got to go all out. Yeah. There's no cycling this deck and playing something better next time. Alright, great. Okay, I might have actually been able to get the relic for the first time, but also shoring up at defense with 2 random upgrades there, totally fine. After image wants to be in our opening hand, so damn bad. Gorget at the start of combat, gain 4 plating. What would be our next upgrade? Reflex for additional draw. Piercing Whale. Ultimate Strike actually gets a significant amount of damage as well, so. Reflex. Take the gold here, so I might be able to get something of value from the shop. Never mind, I'm not going to get anything of value from the shop. I don't want to put a debt in this deck. Especially because I could pay a debt and then end up finding another curse, and then I've just got 2 curses in the deck now. Decent amount of money actually we found back there, as well as expertise, leg sweep, and infinite blades. I think all of those are pretty poor sources of fun. Oh! Hand of Knives! Yeah, I guess it'll help in the queen. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'll drop the poison potion here and take a duplicator so that I can set up like double powers in one of the fights. Probably Storm of Steel if I had to guess. Okie dokie. Yeah, that'll do it. Pretty good turn. Start with the strangle because I know I've got the reflex as well. There we go. Finisher is lethal there as well. Bronze scales, ricochet. Do I have enough discard for that ricochet to matter? Not really. It would also want, you know, some strength boon on my part. I don't think any of these upgrades are going to be more important than 23 more health. It's not even 23 more health. I ended up getting like 18, I think. Up my sleeves is a pretty good source of shivs in the next cycle. Cool. I would prefer to keep Blade of Darts if possible. Six block. There's our panache. Good, pretty panache. One of these prepares the scones. Oh, sick. Pretty good so far. Doormaker is making its way down. Drop both defends before I can afford to hidden shiv it all. Wow, full block again. Just perfectly meeting the mark each time here. Alright, that time we're short. Next turn's the no extra draw turn. Okay. That certainly hurts. Blade of Ink or Finisher both being in that hand would be nice, but I guess Backflip Reflex wouldn't have been useful at all, so I don't know, maybe that worked out for the best. Three. I got lethal next turn. I'm gonna hold both of my potions for the queen fight. We barely had enough to get through there. 2 more rounds and we were dead. I think the thinking players play here is take Piercing Wail and let it retain right up until the turn I need it most. Which is a triple attack turn from the Tortured Amalgam. Is it panache or accuracy that I duplicate here? I think it's accuracy. Of course the weakness hits every enemy. I wasn't thinking about that, but it does make the inky shiv fan of knives thing a lot better. Alright, yeah, it's duplicator on the accuracy, I think. We got a lot of shivs that cycle through this deck for a lot of time. Now, this is not actually an aggressive turn. It looks like it should be, but it isn't because Tortured Amalgam. Doing too much damage for that. So in order to get some value out of this turn, let's drop that Hidden Daggers. Nice. I will discard both Reflex and Untouchable, but I'm doing it in this order. And this is also a demonstration. Even though they are both bound, I get to play one, and then the other one says, nope, can't do it. I can only play one bound card, no matter how they try to happen. Okay. There it goes. Buddy, well, I'm glad to see that piercing well, I'll tell you. I guess that's because I didn't have any weaken on you. Good thing I've got some now. Oh, that'll do it. Hell yeah. That's a good Shiv deck right there. Finally getting to use the new Blade of Ink and using it to give AoE weakness to all enemies is pretty good there. Also, it's nice that we also had the accuracy. I'm so glad that showed up when it did. It was like right before the boss on the second floor. Oh, perfect timing for that to have shown up. Really, really helped cinch us up. And then, of course, after image appearing afterwards, really helping kind of shore up our defenses. That's just a solid run right there. I don't know what to tell you about that. That's just value. That's just using Panache and Strangle early on as our single target damage, because they are good single target damage. But realistically, they don't scale well enough for the late game, and then finding just enough to scale well enough into the late game to push ourselves through the fights. GG. So, some of these... Oh. Lantern, Anchor, Ornamental Fan, Gorget, and Bronze Scales just turning up one after the other. What heat. They're not even rares as well, right? They're all quite common relics, but just especially good common relics. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire 2, top left. It's a series playlist for all of my contents of the game, past, present, and future. YouTube's recommendations are down below. Streaming past are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. And I rob the thank to, and a special thanks to this episode to Lotta. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully see you all next time.